to steel-toed boots, Granger's got your safety needs covered. Literally. Shop Granger's vast inventory of safety products.
Tello is an electric truck startup that's hoping to bring this vehicle to production. It's an electric truck with 350 miles of range, 5 seats, 500 horsepower, 4 doors, and a 5-foot bed. Now, what makes this different than every other electric truck that you can already buy? It's small.
Small.
This is the Tello NT1. Actually, this is an early prototype of the Tello NT1. And that's Alcatraz. And the pitch for this vehicle is big truck capability in little truck package. Great for cities and tight spaces, which is why they brought the prototype up to San Francisco so I can drive it around the sort of cityscape it was designed for.
Welcome to San Francisco.
I gotta say, you bringing this up here so I can drive it in San Francisco has wiped away my ability for unbiased journalism.
This little guy is all about packaging. Tello's favorite stat about this vehicle is that it's the same length as a Mini Cooper, 152 inches, and 4 feet less long than the Ford Maverick, the smallest pickup currently available in the U.S. But despite that, it has a full, usable, 4-foot wide, 5-foot long bed. It is a crew cab. It has 4-wheel drive, 500 horsepower. And as you can see in their chassis prototype, they're using every available inch of space to fit as large of a battery as possible.
I love San Francisco. All right.
Wow, this is neat.
It's not lacking in power, and this one's slightly B2, isn't it?
Yeah.
The Tello's very small. Have you thought about safety?
It's perfectly thought about. The whole vehicle was built from the concept of what is the minimum viable frontal crash zone that would exceed a 5-star crash rating. And everything was built backwards from that.
Let's run through some basic stats of the production version of the Tello NT1. These specs are mostly projections. The final numbers will likely be different. The 4 options they're planning are single motor, dual motor, extended range, and standard range. With the single motor, they're expecting 5 seconds 0 to 60, 300 horsepower, 2-wheel drive, and a payload of 2,000 pounds. For the dual motor, they're expecting 4 seconds 0 to 60, 500 horsepower, and a payload of 1,700 pounds. For range, they expect 260 or 350 miles, and charging, they expect to take 30 minutes from 10 to 8%. And towing capacity, they expect to be over 6,000 pounds. How much will it cost?
Yeah, so the starting price of the vehicle with no incentives, want to be clear, no incentives, is $41,500.
It's not bad.
For single motor, standard range. That's right. And how much will be the long range dual motor?
The spectrum it's in right now is $50,000.
$50,000.
Our vehicle is not meant to compete with other low-cost vehicles. Our vehicle is a pickup truck dedicated for downtown cities. The only pickup truck really built purposefully for a downtown city. And with that in mind, it's also serving the function of a full-size work truck. So, in fact, we have 500 horsepower, 350 miles of range, 4-wheel drive, 5 seats, a bed that goes to 8 feet. These are the features that we wanted to include, and that's why it costs much more to build the vehicle in and of itself.
I've seen a few opinions online about the pricing of this vehicle being too high. But when you consider that they don't have economies of scale on their side, when you consider that they're building all of their battery packs in a tiny warehouse just south of San Francisco, now, price is fine. And they tell me they plan to build all of the battery packs for these trucks themselves in-house, even in production.
Lombard Street tourists are gathered around, and they're going to get shots of a very special vehicle, and some of them might not even realize it. Down we go. So much maneuverability. It looks like you can even having trouble maneuvering this in a Tacoma. This is just like a little bug.
And for my battery nerds out there, here's a lightning interview with CTO and co-founder of Tello, Forrest North. What's the battery chemistry?
NMC. Cylindrical prismatic or pouch. Cylindrical 2170s.
NUO.
Unknown.
Axial or radial cooling of the cells.
Axial.
Gross capacity of the final pack.
106 kilowatt hours.
Usable capacity.
Probably triggered to 100.
400 or 800 volts.
It's 400 currently. We've architected it in such a way that we can switch to 800 easily.
What's the capacity of the onboard charger?
40 amps, potentially 80.
What's the peak DC charge speed theoretically?
Bigger than what's currently out there. So 350 kilowatts. If it's out there now, that'll be fine.
We'll be able to do these with the grid.
Yes.
And these got tires we wore out at the autocross event, so
Fantastic.
we can just continue to shred.
You think I brought you in to make my other driver quit? He's cocky, he's arrogant. You were cocky, you were arrogant.
Like I said, this is a prototype, which means the production version will look mostly like this. But it will be made of different materials, use different components, and have totally different build methods. This exists for design validation, engineering validation, and to gather interest from investors. Some things on it are non-functional and just for show. For instance, the windows don't roll down, and the blinker stalk is just a 3D printed extension to a rocker switch.
The windows do not roll down this, but I just remembered. So this has
Yes, let's try it out.
let's hit the level button.
I will tell you, we biased it to the passenger.
You jerks! You did that specifically because I'm going to drive it. The front seats are pedestal mounted, giving it a really open feeling floor. This also gives more footroom for the rear seat passengers behind you. This vehicle is not very long, and on camera, the rear seats do not look very big. But in reality, let's get back here. Obviously, they're not going to be huge. It's not a very big vehicle. And this seat is in my position. It's not awful. There's plenty of foot room, but not a lot of knee room. But I can spread my legs and fit back here. I wouldn't want to do a super long journey back here, but mostly fine. This definitely won't make it production, but right now these door handles are capacitive.
Now, this works well, very well, in the city. And I know some people are going to ask, yeah, but what about the highway? It's short, whatever. I'm sure it's very stable, but they don't take this prototype on the highway because it doesn't have airbags. Otherwise,
If you're wondering why they made it a 4-door instead of making it a 2-door and having a massive bed, no one in the U.S. buys 2-door pickups anymore. And because this has 4 doors and 5 seats, this could potentially be your only vehicle. And in the future, they plan to sell an SUV version of this, that has presumably even more space.
now, I have a friend in the Netherlands who has complained about Tello. Very serious complaint. He says it is too big.
I can see that. I've been to the Netherlands, and don't even know where those cars have come from. They're so tiny. They have some really small cars.
Yeah, he said it's bigger than his C4 Cactus in width and height, so it's too big.
Okay, this is very important for people that are building an EV. Does everyone that works here drive an EV?
I don't.
Oh, really? What do you daily drive?
A Tacoma. In
So would
downtown
you.
San Francisco.
That's why you want those.
Exactly.
All right, here we go. To the bridge. I'm now entering the Golden Gate Bridge in the first prototype of Tello with the CEO of Tello. This is a special moment.
Wow, that's neat.
Given the diminutive exterior dimensions of this vehicle, the bed is massive. They designed it to fit a full sheet of plywood in width and in length with the tailgate. I know it may not look like it can hold a full sheet of plywood in here, but it has a mid-gate. I'm not going to put it all the way down because I have to reconfigure it a little bit. It is a prototype. But it has a mid-gate. And with this down and the tailgate up, there's about 8 feet of space, 8 feet of length. It's awesome. Also in the bed, you've got some L tracks for your cargo tie downs, and it wouldn't be an electric truck without outlets. 2 120-volt outlets and one NEMA 1450 40-amp outlet, 240 volts. I assume the production truck will also have a mid-gate.
Yes, absolutely. That's a big part of the story we tell is how do you have a vehicle that fits in this footprint that does things that giant trucks can do as well.
Damn, Robert.
It may not have a front because of its incredibly cab-forward design, but as you can see, it does have a gear tunnel under the bed. This full-length pass-through tunnel is called the Monster Tunnel. Get it? Because it's under the bed, and because there's no long hood out front, I kept thinking I was pulling up to curbs when actually I was leaving a massive gap.
The Tello Gap.
The design is, well, I'll let you make up your own opinion about the design. One thing is, it's at least cohesive. There's tons of pill shapes. Pills, pill, 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 functional pill, pill, and many, many more pills. How long have you had a pill addiction? This pill on the door, by the way, serves a purpose. It's for aerodynamics.
You get a high pressure zone right behind the front tires. And to relieve that pressure zone, you want that air to have a direction, a way to go, as opposed to just jettisoning out. Because what it will look like in aerodynamic analysis is it'll just be like an air brake right here. Otherwise, so this is instead using it to redirect air and reattach back to the side of the vehicle.
The trip.
Sustain presents multi-symptom dry eye relief, starring Drew, the dry one. Sustain Complete is solution.
Transport is right here, integrated with the left taillight assembly, and it will be NACS at launch. The infotainment is a fairly standard EV approach to infotainment, and by that I mean not a lot of buttons, but a lot of screen. They are taking software very seriously, and it looks like it'll be good. I mean, this is only not software that's on here at the moment, but it looks nice. And they've taken a fairly novel approach with the driver's display here. It is just a screen, but in front of it, they've put a bezel to cover up parts of the screen and make it look more interesting. I'd like to think that the software engineers are going to have fun with this and put like an animation of a middle finger flipping you off behind the bezel that no one will ever see, but they'll know.
I know there's much more to a truck than just going fast and sporting around the street, but it's so much fun.
That's the most accessible thing that happens, like, you know, every time you drive it.
Look, I know flooring it everywhere doesn't really tell you anything useful about the truck, but it's a prototype. I can't really evaluate it. It's probably going to change, so I'm just having fun.
Wow. It's just, again, I know there's more to a vehicle than just raw power and fun, but it does that real well.
It's there.
I don't know how much of this will make it into production, but I do want to talk about the cooling of this because it's rather interesting the way they package the cooling. For example, the front of the vehicle and the rear of the vehicle have completely isolated cooling loops. This little design feature right here is actually a complete pass-through, and inside of here is a radiator for the front motor. Now see these two little slits in the rear bumper here? Behind these, or in front of these, is a radiator in front of each slit. These heat exchangers in the back are for things like the DC to DC converter, the onboard charger, of course, the rear motor and inverter. And I don't remember if it's the front or the rear that handles this, but one of them handles battery pack cooling and heating.
I'm experiencing all the touristy bits of San Francisco for the first time in a multi-million-dollar prototype vehicle from Tello. I love this.
How else have you experienced San Francisco?
Yeah, on your feet, that's the lane.
It's as well equipped as you would expect from a truck in the modern age. It has a glass roof, climate control, ADAS, etc., etc. It's not stripped down and basic, but it's not super luxurious either. By the way, the seats in the prototype are cloth, but they tell me they want a different material for the production version. To the engineers at Tello, I do have a request for future iterations of this vehicle, specifically in the software department. It needs more off-throttle regen. Like a lot more. Don't make me dig into the brake pedal for regen braking. Just lift off the throttle and then throw me through the windshield. This is what I want.
Oh, no one felt the driving program in just yet.
Not yet.
The windshield wipers are on the opposing direction persuasion. These body panels on the prototype are actually made of carbon fiber. On the early production versions, they won't be made of carbon fiber, but they will still be made of composites because that's cheaper at low volume production. If this thing goes into higher volume production, they'll invest in stamping machines, and these will be made of aluminum or steel or something like that. But that's down the road.
So what we do uniquely is our first batch of vehicles, composites, because tools for composites is in the thousands of dollars. The panels in composites end up costing significantly more, also in thousands of dollars. As you move to the next phase of the company, you can use a softer form of hard tools. So a softer form of tools called soft tools, usually made out of a material called Kirksite. You can stamp between 500 to 5,000 vehicles per year, either out of aluminum or even steel, and that's where you kind of get that range of 500 to 5,000. And those will be millions of dollars for the tools, single-digit millions, but tens of dollars for each component. So you see how you can step away into it.
The first thing you need to know about Tello is that they're not trying to be the next Tesla or Rivian. They're not trying to make it big right out of the gate. They are scaling very cautiously, and they're going to produce vehicles to meet demand. As I understand it, you're going to be building the first couple hundred or so by hand. Is that correct?
Yeah, and when we say by hand, there's a lot of ways people will interpret that. But what it really means is we're not using any type of high volume production tooling. Because the problem is that every other automaker that came before that is part of the graveyard of electric vehicle companies trying to go big too fast.
I want to say that you seem very comfortable driving this, like you've had a lot of experience, but this only has 460 miles on it.
I think about that all the time.
Yeah, it's been driving, basically for only 2 months now.
Now, of course, the big question that everyone asks, will Tello make it to production? Will they survive as a company? I don't know. And you don't either. I don't know if Tello will make it as a company, and there's some aspects of the business they clearly haven't put a ton of thought into yet, like sales and service. When asked about sales and service, Jason gave sort of a non-answer to both of those things, but the quality and completeness of this, their first prototype with a body, astonished me because they built it in 9 months, they fabricated a lot of it themselves in their little warehouse, and they did it with just 11 employees. There are startups with hundreds of employees and hundreds of millions of dollars in funding with less complete prototypes.
we did all of the engineering for the vehicle itself ourselves. That means we did all the Class A surfaces, we did all of the seat design, we did all of the steering wheel design, we did a lot more than we thought.
I'm reacting to a video from Aging Wheels.
Not that it was more expensive to use suppliers, but their timeline just didn't meet the requirement we had to do to launch this vehicle.
Where's the name?
Sort of. Tomorrow, I will be filming the popcorn stand tomorrow. I got the okay to film it, but we will be open. They should be opening in April soon. I'm going to be doing a video of the popcorn stand tomorrow. Yes.
As soon as we can make enough to make the popcorn.
We won't be open, but yeah, we'll be making a popcorn stand video tomorrow. Yes, it will be.
Get from where we are right now to our first delivery of the vehicle, it takes at least 12 months to get there. And there's some padding in there as well. So we really are aiming for the first vehicle to be delivered to our customers.
No, not today because it's just too cold.
Thanks to Tello for inviting me out
So
here.
tomorrow, yeah.
Prototype.
Tomorrow, the popcorn stand. That's all I'm going to say.
It's been a hoot. This thing's fun. I rented a Mach-E to come out here, and it feels slow now compared to this. Full disclosure, Tello didn't pay me anything. I flew out to San Francisco and handled all the other travel expenses on my own dime. I don't have any financial incentive to say anything good or bad about the company or the truck. With that being said, I'm obviously not without bias. I mean, they let me drive their one and only complete prototype around the streets of San Francisco with Wild Abandoned. How can I be unbiased after that? I don't know if Tello will make it as a company, but I hope they do. Not just because I like the things they're trying to bring to market.
Here we go.
Because like the
I went out to
company
get some pop. That's about it. But yeah, so I just changed the title. So we talk a little more. So yeah, we talk about what we want to talk about.
Don't tell them, though.
So yeah, we're just on here having some fun. I just finished up that video. The video's now done with, but I'm still on here for a little bit more fun. But yeah, just relaxing. So
Yes, Gabriel.
Is there any way I can have more meaningful
there's no storm tomorrow. There's no storm till Wednesday.
To save a lost soul, you have to find the lost soul.
So yeah, Wednesday. Wednesday's gonna be. So yeah, Wednesday's gonna be a storm. Now, doing nothing now. I'm just relaxing now, killing time right now because we're doing that video. So yeah, there's an issue. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
And this is the last one ever imported into Britain. So wide body, 2.6 litre turbo, 14 years old.
It works. Oh, I know what you mean. You mean the Solar Clip. I know what you're thinking of. You're thinking of the. Yeah. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. We might not. I'm not sure. Depends what time I wake up tomorrow. Or if I wake up stay early. So we'll see.
12 cylinders and it's gold, sir. Look at that. I'm really quite.
Northern Lights. I might see it. Might not. This will be like the 5th time I tried doing it the past 2 years.
I never bothered looking for a Starion because I just knew it was rubbish, full stop. Don't you like the DeLorean rear thing? Yes, did DeLorean use gaffer tape as well?
So I'm out here now, just relax now. We are going to do Alba Truckers later, maybe.
Actually, it looks very good.
So I might do some B stars today, or I might do some more stuff. But yeah, I did some video. So I did some stuff. So yeah.
Is it an M? What is it? He's forgot to put his red braces on.
6'5", 93. Oh yeah.
Yeah, 6'5".
Within budget.
Are you gonna play pinball? I'm gonna play pinball later on today. I might play some pinball in a little bit. I took the game though. I might do some pinball later on today. So yeah.
So first challenge, and it is here. Thank you very much. High speed bowl challenge. You will drive around the banked high speed circuit as quickly as possible. 140 miles an hour is your target speed. Points are lost for failing to achieve it and gained for beating it.
Are you going? I'll do it in a little bit. Right now we're gonna stay on here for a little bit. So yeah. Yes, going to Dad's tomorrow, like I do every morning. Going to Dad's tomorrow. I was surprised you didn't ask about the blue. I had an accident yesterday, so just leave it at that. I had a little accident yesterday. It didn't work as planned. So I think one just blew up my face. So yeah, I had a little accident yesterday. It didn't work as planned. I'm gonna make some money later. I hope I make some money eventually one of these days on YouTube. I'm just gonna kill some time right now. But yeah, I'll do some B stars. I'll do some pinball later on. I'm just gonna watch a little more TV and do that.
When it was shiny and new in 1984 was 142 miles an hour. Many many years and months have passed since then.
So yeah.
The wheel, but his car wasn't going to do.
He's got much more to give.
115 miles an hour, hamster.
Are you drinking Dr. Nope, Coca-Cola. I don't like Dr. Pepper. Too strong. I only drink Coca-Cola and Smurfs Pops. I don't drink Dr. Pepper. I don't like Dr. Pepper that much.
Right, here we are entering the bowl. Here he comes. That's the slowest car ever at Millbrook.
I'm moving into the top lane.
So yeah, I'm drinking Coke. Wow.
And what was the speed? What do you mean error? He'll never do that again. Why does that never happen with the police?
What's for lunch? McDonald's? No, not McDonald's. No lunch today. I'm actually not hungry for lunch. I just wanted a cola. It's just lazy Sunday, so no lunch today. So I might have dinner later. So
James's grandfather clock had reached the 140-mile-an-hour target speed. He paid the price. Yes, that's broken.
KFC's in Sturgis.
It sounds terrible. And to start with, it was disappointingly slow, but I wasn't wondering. I do have one secret weapon, which is the bloke I bought it from has fitted some device to the turbocharger, and I'm not joking, that gives me sort of extra boost. I'm going to try that now. Oh my god! The afterburner certainly upped the speed. But unfortunately, it also undressed the car.
Where's this thing gone off the back? Right, is that your attempt at going faster, shedding weight on the way around?
How fast was it?
100
What?
190.
119,
which is faster than me, yes.
Yes! That said, James's...
No wine today. No Taco Bell. I don't like Taco Bell. No wine.
Before it could face the next challenge.
This challenge is designed to test the quality of the ride in your car. Each of you must drive along the dreaded cobbled Parway course at 30 miles an hour with a bowl of water on your lap.
Ooh.
Oh, they're very, very bumpy, and James is going to have a very wet
What?
more, is
I
he?
hate to say this. Do you not think he stands a pretty good chance in that, Jack?
And here we go, and that's a disaster already. Oh my god, you have achieved 30. I felt like this is a very small boy.
Oh, that's a bit of a wobble there. That was a splash.
And it's flying everywhere.
Oh yes, it's very bumpy.
Oh, that's not the first time that's happened, is it?
Richard.
Yeah.
That happened in a Jaguar.
Yes, exactly. This is the car with one of the world's best ride qualities. So you, sir, in your sporty BMW, are probably going to drown.
This may not look like a lot of water. Can I just point out?
Very firm suspension in a 635. Not the car
I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about that. I'm from Buchanan, so I heard about that. I'm surprised. I used to live over by that cemetery, so that's surprising. Yeah, I heard about that. I also heard about it on Channel 16 or Channel 22. So yeah, I know about that because I'm from Buchanan. So yeah, it's kind of saddening. Computer needs to be updated. Oh, great. So in a little bit, that did my computer, guys. I have to go off, guys. I have to update the computer. I'll be back on a little bit later, guys. Doing Abba Trucker. I'll be back on in a little bit, guys. Computer needs to be updated. So yeah, I'm gonna see you guys in a bit.